Yo, what's happening, guys? Welcome back to Tokimotive. Again, time for something completely different. Thanks to Jesse, just so happened to stumble upon a significantly cooler and classier daily. Something that I never thought I would ever own. But I got a freaking Mercedes. Like, what? It was believed to have a like a timing chain issue. I'd done a bit of research, and because they're a hydraulic timing tensioner, it was like, okay, it sat for a while, like a good 6 months, and they're known to, if they've sat for that long with some old oil in them, to gum up a bit and be a bit noisy, and then it goes away with revs, which is what this was doing. Turned out not to be that at all. I'll show you in a sec. I have a freaking Mercedes. Not just any Mercedes. An AMG. It's only a little four-cylinder auto, but we'll make a mint daily. Cool cruiser. And best of all, it has a sunroof. Already a million times better than E36. Let's face it, everything's way cooler with a sunroof. Now, it's not without its issues. Now, we've got some interior pulling down and a little bit of a rip, and the key doesn't work for central locking, or the central locking doesn't work. I've got to work that out. Bonnet latch is broken, but it's already been jury rigged up, so like that's perfectly fine. Sort of running a little bit rough, but I just took it and put like 25 litres of premium in it, and it helped it a lot. So I'm going to say it's a product of some bad fuel. I'm going to do clean plugs, oil change, you know, your basic sort of getting a new car stuff. Something that's cool that I never knew about Mercedes. There's a little tab at the back here. You pull that and slide it up. And then, bam. How freaking cool is that? And it's got a sunroof. Crappy little four-cylinder. It's got like 300,000 on it. Not too bad. That right there, that little dog is the source of all the noise that it was having. So for anyone that's getting the same noise, I'll start her up. That don't run too bad. It's still a little bit, tiny bit spluttery. But you can hear that. You see why some people think it's a timing guide in the top. And if I put pressure against that, it's gone. So yeah, that's one of those things. If you're going to buy an old Mercedes with an M111 and hoping to get it cheap, and it's got that noise, who knows? I'm not your moral compass. We didn't actually know it was that. I did think it was the hydraulic tensioner, which is a thing that can happen, and usually an oil change and a bit of a flush fixes them, from what I'm reading online, but hadn't needed to do that. I am, however, going to oil change and give the motor a bit of a flush, so it's all nice and fresh. Just got a couple of little dings and scrapes. But let's face it, you can't really go wrong with a running and driving $800 Mercedes in full AMG trim. Like, whoo, hell yeah. I may have got a bit rowdy the other night down on the pad.
flat and drop the clutch.
Righto.
Start it quick, don't let it sit hot. Yeah, the whole bar is very not good.
But then that came up and I was excited to get a new daily, so I went and got that instead of fixing all this. Turns out third gear on the pad absolutely nukes tires. But yeah, so I went and picked up a bunch of stuff. I've got to get a little bit more. Mercedes. So what's a cool cruiser without Stezza? I got a sub an amp in there. Gonna see what stock speakers are like for now. Just see what they're like, and if I find out pretty quick that they're crap, I can go back to Autobahn because they have zip money and they also have a big end of financial year sale, so you know, that's a win-win. Got some nice lightweight oil for it. That's the current recommendation for it. This thing was always serviced with 040, but that should be fine. It was on sale, so it was cheap. Got your little fucking the thingy for the oil filters on these, and yeah, got a little cartridge filter. But not a bad little rigger. Big Johnny's, bit of low, tint, Stezza, mint. Be perfect. I'm actually excited. I like this thing. I was gonna do the flush and oil change right now, but I'm gonna bang this head unit in, attempt not to completely destroy the factory dash stuff. See, it's got little issues, like this switch panel's not mounted upright, blower fan doesn't work. I'm hoping the mouse stuff I found in the engine bay isn't the cause of all of this, but I gotta work out how to get this off without like breaking the stereo. I'm hoping those aren't like, oh, they might be fancy Pori dogs. Maybe I'll try and feed some wire in there, or I just go to Google and not break stuff. Google. I'm sure someone has a YouTube video on it somewhere, surely. Well, that's a good sign for why the cabin fan's not working. If that's ever been cleaned. Oh yeah. That's not ideal. That's had water in it. That's had quite a bit of water in it. That might explain why the cabin fan is not working. It's too clean otherwise for it to be a flood car. But I'm guessing all that leaf litter hasn't helped it. So I'll probably have to pull this off and check all in there and make sure all that's all good. Like that, you can just pry at that center bit. There's a screw there. Still trying to work out how to get all this out, but I'm just starting to pull stuff apart because I've got to run wiring for stereo anyway. This little Johnny here, with this little Johnny over there, that pops up, and this also just literally pries up. It's got little clips on it. It's probably proper, better ways to do it. I just got a little screwdriver down in here where I could find the largest gap, and just real gently levered it and got my fingers under, and yeah, now it's free. And I'll pop those little couple of clips there and pop that out, and then undo this, and hopefully it's just a chain reaction and all this comes out and I can have a look at this and get that out and put that in. That was easy. Once I got that out and this clip off, there was just a couple of screws here and a couple of screws in there, and that's out. And now this pretty much just comes out. I can probably get away with just putting that to the side although that's an easy plug to disconnect. Oh look, electronics. Don't know what any of that does, but now I can reach the stereo and work out why it's so hung up on this. I need both hands for that. Mission accomplished. Not exactly the way it's intended to be, but there are little slide clips that I didn't have the right tools to get into. But yeah, those are them. So if you can slide things down those little holes, you can pop those little tabs and then it slides right out of this casing Johnny right here. But I got underneath it and I could sort of lever up on the stereo and get it past those tabs which are hooking on the bottom. And for that I did need to be able to get behind it and pry it down and just do one at a time, which meant I did have to pull all that out to do it. Otherwise I was going to be in there fiddling with that for ages. Factory head unit. You can go yeet. Put something that actually does stuff in there. Hell yeah. I want to try and fix those sunken in switches while I'm in here. There's a couple of little screws up in there. I dare say the top part's just sort of like a clip. So I'll give it a go. Worked out this has definitely been out before. It's missing its screws. But this wasn't doing confirming clicks either. So once those screws are out, see if I can do this one-handed. Pop. And there's another little tab on that side that you just gotta sort of pop. That slides out. You've got those little dicky johnnies in there go into those little holes. In order to get that to work, you got to line them up from the bottom when you put it in, and I'm going to say that didn't happen whenever they replaced that. So that fixes that issue. I dare say this seemed like it was all working because it's still activating and making the fan make sound, so I'm not going to worry about messing with it too much, but I will put it back in its home properly and line them up, bit fiddly, and then try and attach this somehow to where it's got to be. Nice. That whole plate that was on just literally clips straight into the back of this frame. So that's cool. That's gonna look so much neater. Already making this thing better. Look at me go. Make the patch harness, tie that into that one down there. That should be pretty good. Decent little compact unit because it's got no CD drive in it. I was hoping I could somehow rig it up to the 10 disc stacker in the boot, but I don't think it's gonna let me in any way, form or fashion, which is what it is. I imagine there's not a lot of stuff that hooks up to a CD stacker anymore. It's kind of outdated, and new head units are a better piece of tech. So, okay. So I had this all nice and up in place, and the screws that mount it sit behind that, which I have put the stereo in, and that sits beautifully just with this little tray in there, and then this sandwiches it in, which will be absolutely mint. And then I'll have the proper like little key releases and stuff that it's meant to have. Only problem is when this is back in place, the screws are near impossible to get to. Definitely impossible to put in because I've just lost one down in there. It has joined the void, never to return. None of the aerial attachments fit this stereo, so I'm just going to take them up and yeet them back in there because we have Spotify and Bluetooth. The future is now in the Mercedes. I actually want the inside of this thing and this car to just be nice, not just thrown together like the wagon, where it's like, I don't care if half the shit's missing out the dash because it's a drift car, it doesn't matter. I want this to be like a nice, classy, hot boy cruiser. I think that'd be mint, and it'll be an awesome fun daily that you feel great driving every day, which that's the goal for this, to have something I can enjoy driving every day. It doesn't need to be fast, just needs to be good sound, be cool. All it took, just nip those two little pieces out. Just there, just did it with a set of side cutters. Easy. Well, my phone was flat for most of that, but after probing for the test light, found my permanent and my
switched.
Switch power, that's it. Permanent and switch power for the stereo, which your permanent's running all the time. You switch one, when you switch the ignition to accessories, it'll have power. Once you switch it off accessories, it'll turn off. That allows your stereo to keep memory, but also shut off when you turn the key off and turn on, vice versa. And then it just went through the speaker connections one by one, fading front to back, left to right, until I worked out the right positioning. So that's all set up and done. I can just hide in the dash. RCA's in, and the trigger wire for the amp is hooked up. Everything's all heat shrunk and everything like that. Time for that baby to go in.
Nice.
Looks tidy as. Oh, I only want accessories, thank you. Maybe it will connect. Mint.
Perfect.
So far I have the wires to here. I'm just tucking back the carpet and then re-poking it back in with a trim tool. Under your dash there's a couple of bolts. If you undo them, you can pry it down enough to poke the wires up in there, and there's a bit of a cavity. Don't try and thread them through though. Just poke them up on the dash side of it. Slowly getting there. Popping up the back seats and poke it through. And then subwoofer.
Have you ever heard about pizza press? Now, if you have a minute today, I'd like to talk to you about our Lord and Saviour Jesus Christ and his pizzas. Now, this is in Browns Plains. I don't know the exact shop address, but it's the best pizza I've ever had in my entire fucking life. If you don't go and get one of them pizzas, you wasted your entire existence.
Left it, Mike. Like, ooh! Pizza
Boom.
on the Chevy.
The toppings on that boy, and the base is like the best thing you've ever had, and like the best crust and shit. We want a sponsorship. Pizza Press, give us a sponsorship. Straight up, we want to fucking eat these pizzas while we fix shit cars. Well, this is an alright one, but like,
Yeah, like
shit
this.
cars.
Yeah, like this is actually a pretty good car.
Couple of Cougars in the Northern Rivers, didn't know it was going to hit them. Couple of young bucks coming in, swooping them out of their fucking deal.
Back seat, easiest thing to remove in the world. One of them on each side, push them in. Literally just pops up and slots out. That's it. Done. And I'm just pulling the carpet out. Had one little clip there I had to pop. Pull it out. Oh. And I think I found a little sneaky hole right there. I can poke them through. Perfect. This literally has a 10mm bolt there. One in the center, one on that end. And just pull your seatbelt out of the way and just... That's it. Whole back seat's out. Like, what the hell? And sound deadening for days. Why we couldn't just poke it through?
Yeah, legit. Find the hole. Yeah, that's something. Two fingers, upward hooking motion. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's the good motion.
Yeah, I think that's how you do it.
I reckon I could feed it up there.
Yeah, I'll get that zip tie and try and feed it in from the back.
What's the cable and plan?
So I'm gonna run it from here down through underneath the existing fuse panel, and then put the fuse laying there sideways with the fuses. It seems right. And then run the cable up over to where the RCA and the signal cable are coming out of this corner. So it'll just poke up through there, and the sub will probably hide it, to be honest.
And whew, Mercedes engineering,
Yeah,
how
this
good.
is the most fucking incredible thing ever. This literally like drops down, lift it up. That's just the handle to lift it up. Pull it open. Fuck, that's...
I love this thing.
I wish they did that on every car.
Oh, what? Ha! I needed one of them. My subscription ran out.
What's the fuck? Oh, yeah, sick.
Before, that was like in the ashtray mechanism. Hell yeah. At this rate, $20 plus that replacement blade.
Oh, yeah.
It's like $760. Hell yeah.
Ended up like literally finding an earth terminal basically just sitting like behind this cover. So the battery's in the boot, the earth was on this side. This thing pretty much just like fell together, if I'm actually honest.
Like, all the time.
Yeah, but like it's pretty easy to work on and it's proving to be pretty cool. Unlike my last Mercedes 240D W123, that thing ended up being such a pain to get stuff for, but it looks like these things are pretty popular and common, so if it's easy to work on as well, that's a pretty decent little platform.
Ooh. We're getting classy over here.
Oh, hell yeah.
Making everything look neat. Quite possibly the neatest stereo install I've ever done.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Alright guys, that's going to be it for this video. So yeah, it's been a hot minute. Needed to have myself a break, work on here, physical, mental health, all that. You guys know stuff's been going on for a while. So anyways, had to give a proper break, but now I'm coming back. It's good. This video, I've already nearly got the next one ready to go, and then there's a third partway edited as well. So these are looking good. I'm feeling good. Get the content rolling again. Get back on this horse. Even though I don't really like horses that much. But thank you guys for the patience. Let me know what you think of the new daily / project that I'm gonna sort out. As always, appreciate you guys. Hope you enjoyed. Hopefully there's some new faces coming in with a bit of W202 content, because it turns out they got a little bit of a cult following. So if you're new, drop down below, let me know. It'd be cool to see how many people have come in for it, rather than just long-term subscribers. But anyways, thank you guys. As always, appreciate you, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.